Welcome to Fam Church Online. My name is Claire, and I'm so glad that you're tuning in with us this morning. We would love to connect with you, and if we haven't had the chance to do so yet, please text WELCOME to the number that appears here at the bottom of the screen. We'll send a digital connection card to your phone. You can fill that out and send it back to us, and we'll send you a gift in the mail just for connecting with us. As always, we hope Pastor John's message really speaks to your heart this morning, and if you would love to connect with people in our community, you can do so down below in the comments.
Hi everyone, this is Pastor John White, the lead pastor at Fam Church in Morganton, North Carolina. I'd like to take just a few moments of your time today to talk to you about excellence. Excellence is one of our core values here at Fam Church. There's a scripture verse that backs up this idea of excellence. It's found in the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 23, and it says this: "We do everything with our whole heart, not as if we're doing it unto a man, but as we're doing it unto the Lord." Every area of our life should be done in excellence, and that includes our giving. So here at Fam Church, there are 4 ways that you can give. You can give through our app. I encourage you to download our app. Go to the bottom of our app, look for the Give tab, click on it, and there'll be some instructions for you to give through our app. Or you can also text your amount to the telephone number that you see on the screen. If you've never given through our texting system, please be advised that there will be a link there for you to click to set that up for future gives. App, text, also our website. If you'll click in the description below, it'll take you to our website. At the top of our website on our home page, there's a list of tabs. Click on the Give tab, and there'll be a system there to lead you through some steps to set that up. If none of these electronic means suits you, please be advised that you can also send your gift through snail mail. The address should be on the screen right now, 1955 US Highway 70 East in Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code is 28655. Regardless if you use our website, our app, the text, or if you use snail mail, please hear my heart in this. If you will reach out to me, I promise you that I'll continue to reach out to the people of Morganton and the surrounding communities.
God, I'm on my knees again. God, I'm begging, please again. I need you. Oh, I need you. Walking down these desert roads, water for my thirsty soul. I need you. Oh, I need you. Your forgiveness, it's like sweet, sweet honey on my lips. It's like the sound of a symphony to my ears. It's like holy water on my skin. Walking slave to sin. I wanna know about being born again. I need you. God, I need you. So take me to the riverside. Take me under, baptize. I need you. Oh God, I need you. Your forgiveness, it's like sweet, sweet honey on my lips. It's like the sound of a symphony to my ears. It's like holy water on my skin. And I don't want to abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that ever really makes me want to change. And I don't want to abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that ever really makes me want to change. And I don't want to abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that ever really makes me want to change. And I don't want to abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that ever really makes me want to change. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips. It's like the sound of a symphony to my ears. It's like holy water. Your forgiveness. It's like sweet, sweet honey on my lips. It's like the sound of a symphony to my ears. It's like holy water on my skin. It's like holy water on my skin. It's like holy water.
Well, good morning, Fam Church, and all of our wonderful viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Church Online here for Fam Church. So glad to see you today. Man, wasn't that a great song? I tell you what, we've had a lot of requests for that song, Holy Water. Our worship team does a jam-up job of that song, and I'm telling you what, it's a great tune, isn't it? And so we hope that brought a blessing to you today. I hope you got to sing along to that song today, and boy, I tell you what, it's just a thrill and an honor to come into your home each and every week. Thank you for inviting us in. Hey, here we are. It's Mother's Day. Let me take an opportunity here before we even get started just to wish all the moms a happy Mother's Day. I've got on my pregnancy care T-shirt today for the Burke County Pregnancy Care Center. Christy Burcham, God bless you, girl, for all that you're doing. Hey, you know, here at Fam Church, we believe in being pro-life. And so without pro-life, what's Mother's Day? And so we want to just salute all the moms out there. Let me also say, you know, that I know that maybe everyone viewing, that your mom may have not been the best example for you. And for that, I'm sorry. I am sorry that that example was not what it was supposed to be and what it should have been. But for everyone else who did have a mom that done things the right way, today we are to celebrate that we are to celebrate motherhood. And the Bible tells us to rejoice with those who rejoice. And so we do rejoice with those who had a mom, who had a great mom, who had a mom that brought them up in the right way. And we celebrate that today. And again, for those of you that may not have had the childhood that you would have preferred, I am deeply sorry that you're scarred by that. And I want you to know that you're in my prayers, and that even though things may have not been as you would have liked, that hopefully there's been some redeeming quality out of that. Maybe it's with your own children, that you did not revisit what was visited on you to your children. And so I do hope that in some way Mother's Day has found a way to be a redemptive quality and a blessing for you in your own life. So again, we celebrate all the moms. God bless you, and thank you for all the work that you do. Well, you know, I was thinking about my own mom. I think about her all the time, actually. this September coming up will be 3 years since she's passed. And, you know, you think back, and I was blessed to have a great mom. I was blessed to have a great mom. And I'd like to share some things with you today about motherhood, and I hope that it passes along to you in the way that I want it to come across. I do hope that it's a blessing to you today. And so the first thing I want to talk to you about today, and I've got some notes here on my phone. First thing I'd like to talk to you today about is a mother's love. A mother's love. You know, where would we be without a mother's love? A mother's love really carries us to places that we never thought we'd be able to go. You know, I was very much impacted by my mother's love. It took a lot of my mother's love in order to keep me in the right path and on the right on a straight path. And so I thank God today for my mother's love. You know, when my father took off and left as a boy, my mother had a tough job ahead of her. She had 2 young boys, 15 months apart, that she had to saddle up and make something happen. And it was difficult. It was going to be a difficult road for her. But I'm telling you what, her love carried the day. Her love carried the day. And with most moms, it's the love that they have for their children that carries the day. Some of you who are watching understand and know that love runs extremely, extremely deep. So I thank God today for a mother's love. It's where it's at. I would not be where I'm at today if it were not for a mother's love. When my dad left, my mom had a very difficult decision that she had to make. The decision that she had to make was, am I going to carry on with a career, or am I going to stay home and raise my boys? She finally decided that she was going to stay home and raise me and my younger brother. That was a decision that she had to make. And as we have said here often, every decision that you make, you have to pay for. And so there was something that she had to pay for. Well, when you're not working and there's no money coming in the home, things can get tight. And so we were raised poor and really, really hard, but I'm here to tell you that when I come home from school, my mom was there. When it was time to be put to bed, my mom was there. When I got up in the morning, my mom was there. And so for all you moms out there, God bless you for making a difficult choice sometimes when it comes to loving your children. Kids will never, ever fully appreciate what that's like until they have their own kids. So moms, hang in there. God bless you. Thank you for the love that you show your children day in and day out. God bless you for that. Let me also talk to you today about a mother's faith. A mother's faith. You know, the first glimpse I had of the gospel was from my mom and my grandmother. Like Timothy, that's how I was introduced into the faith. Now, I got away from that in my teenage years and on into my early and mid-20s before I came back to Christ. But in my early years as a kid, I thank God that I had my mother's faith and my grandmother's faith. It was through them that I was introduced to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Mamas, hear my heart in this today. Do your red letter best to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with your children. I'm telling you, children are designed by God with a soft spot in their heart to receive the faith of their mom. And so, please today, take the time to pray with your children, to share with your children the things of the gospel, to share, to raise them in the fear of the Lord, because it will pay off. Take the time to deposit the faith that you have into your children. It will pay huge dividends when they get older. Take the time to pray with them. Take the time to read the scriptures to them. Take the time to speak into their life, because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, it's going to make a difference. We didn't go to church, as I said, in my after I got to probably around 10 years old. My mother just stopped going, and of course, when you're not going to church and you don't have that direction in your life, things can go sideways pretty quick. But early on, I can remember my mom gathering me and my younger brother together when there was a big decision that needed to be made within our family. And she'd gather us together. And I remember her grabbing our hands, and we'd get together in a circle in the living room, and she'd begin to pray and to believe God for things. And so I remember that. It's in my mind. I'll never be able to forget it. And so when you're a child and the soil is very, very fertile, the faith from your mother can be handed down to realize that there is a God in heaven who can come to our rescue and help us in our time of need. I'm here to tell you, man, that is a very powerful image that I have in my mind of my mom and her faith and how steadfast she was in the things of God. So please, moms, keep up the good work about sharing the faith of Jesus Christ with your children. Well, let me carry on here. Not only are we talking about a mother's love, not only are we talking about a mother's faith, but I also want to talk to you briefly about a mother's instruction. A mother's instruction. Now, I was raised down in southern Alabama, and I can remember there was a lot of the kids that I went to school with, their fathers worked on the oil rigs out in the Gulf of Mexico, and so their fathers were gone for a week or two at the time. Then they'd be home for a week or two, and then they'd go back out into the Gulf of Mexico to work on the oil rigs. And so I remember talking to these kids of mine, and they not the kids of mine, but my friends that I grew up with, and they'd say to me, they say, man, boy, I really goofed. They said, when my dad gets home, I'm really going to get it. You know, they had done something wrong. They had done something that they were not supposed to be doing. And their mother said, well, when your daddy gets home, I'm going to tell your daddy, and he's going to handle this. Well, my mom didn't have that luxury. My mom didn't have that luxury. She didn't have a man there, or my dad was not there for her to say, I'm going to tell your daddy, and he's going to wear you out. No, my mom would wear me out. And so all these kids, these school chums that I had, they'd always talk about their moms. They'd say, she can't whip. I'm like, son, you need to come to my house. Because my mother had this way about her. She could just, the old expression down south is she could really shell down the corn. I'm here to tell you, she could put it on you. And so my mom did not spare the rod. Probably compared to what we see nowadays, this is something that Child Protective Services would be called over. But I'm here to tell you, I even threatened that one time. I told my mom, I said, I'm going to call Child Protective Services. And she said, go on and call them, because when they get here, I'm going to whip them too. So my mom had a way. She was very, very strict. And she had a way, and she said, this is the way you're going to behave. This is the only way to behave. This is the right way that you're going to approach people. You're going to say yes, sir, and no, sir, and yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and please, and thank you. And she says you're going to have your manners together. You're going to respect your elders. You're going to respect me. And if you don't, I'm going to tear your tail up. Now, there may be people watching today that'll say, my gosh, that sounds rough. Well, you know what? I believe we probably need a little bit of that. Because our children think they're the boss nowadays. They're not. Mamas, instruct your children. I've heard people say, well, I can't instruct my children. I cry and I can't take it. Well, listen, you either cry now or you cry later when they go to jail. You need to follow the ways of the Scriptures and instruct your children in the way of goodness and godliness. And say, well, my children don't mind. Yes, they do. You have to find a way to make them mind. As I've often said, I've been to the circus, and I have seen them cause lions to jump through hoops of fire. You can make your children mind. And my mom had an excellent way of making me and my younger brother mind. Now, was she heavy-handed? You bet. But it worked. When you got two stubborn boys, you do what you got to do to keep them on the straight path. So I thank God today, not only for my mom's love, not only for the faith that she introduced me to, but for her instruction. I needed it, and it helped me become the man that I am today. Let me also talk to you today about a mother's virtue. Virtue. That's a word that we don't use a lot. Virtue. What's that even mean? Moral excellence. Goodness. My mom was good. She had a goodness about her that she instilled in me and my younger brother. That there's still a way that you treat people
that there's still a way that you treat people who may not have it as good as you've got it. That there's still a way that you treat people if they're in positions of respect and authority. That there is still a moral goodness, there is still a moral excellence about us as people. So my mother instilled that within me, and she taught me the disciplines of being a virtuous person. And so I feel like that discipline is being lost today when we don't treat our children and expect things out of them. There was a level of behavior that my mother expected out of me and demanded out of me. And so I think that we let a lot of times our children off the hook when we so easily could make sure that we are instilling within them a moral goodness and a moral excellence. That we expect that from them, that we demand that from them. And mamas have a great way of doing that. I don't know if any of you can identify with this or not, but my mother had a way of instilling moral goodness and moral excellence in us simply by a look. Simply by a look. She would instill within us, moral excellence and moral goodness. If we went to a store, before we ever got out of the car, she'd look in the back seat and she'd say, "Boys, let me tell you how this is going to go." She said, "Don't ask for nothing. You ain't getting nothing. I ain't buying you nothing. If you ask for something, I'm going to wear you out. Don't you go in this store acting like you ain't got no sense." She says, "I'm telling you, if you embarrass me in this store, it's not going to be good for you." And so my mother had a way of demanding and expecting virtue out of her children. So moms, let me tell you, you may not be as strong. You may feel like you're not as strong as maybe the men need to be. But listen, you can do this. My mother gave it to me. It's in you. So moms, expect those stuff out of your children. Expect moral goodness out of your children. Demand moral excellence out of your children. Demand that. Model that. So, yes, there's just something there that moms have got when it comes to portraying the idea that when it comes to an attitude and a behavior, I will accept this and nothing else. So thank God for that. Because we need to have a standard set for us and to have someone there to make sure that we live up to it. So, a mother's love, her faith, instruction, virtue, a mother's sacrifice, a mother's sacrifice. You know, my mom, I'm sure she had big dreams as a young person. I don't know what all she desired to do when she got older. But when you become a mom, she put all that stuff on hold. She sacrificed a great deal. I can remember that there were times where my brother and I would just, "Mom, Mom, Mom." Some of you moms out there, you know this. "Mom, Mom, 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 Mom." Especially when they're young, it's just constant, "Mom, Mom." And I remember her in exasperation at times. My mom would say, "I'm going to change my name to something other besides Mom." Because she had it. But she had dreams. She had aspirations. She had things that she wanted to do. There were things that she wanted to become. There were hopes and dreams that were bound up in her heart. But you know what? She sacrificed every bit of that. When she became a mother, and then when she became a single mother, well, at that time, what do? You either put up or shut up. And she put up. And she was there every day, sacrificing all the time, cooking all of the meals. We never went out to eat. McDonald's, what in the world's that? Burger King, what in the world's that? She cooked all the meals, washed all the clothes, took care of us, done all of the things, sacrificed. Every time she wanted something, no, give to the kids. It was an amazing thing. You know, people have often said, if you want to know how selfish you are, get married. If you really want to know how selfish you are, have kids. Boy, isn't that the truth? But she sacrificed it. She took all the things that she wanted. She sacrificed them. And she said, I'm going to be a mom to these boys. Moms, do that work. I know it becomes tedious. I know it becomes hard. But God bless you for doing it. It will pay off. It will pay off. Well, the last thing that I'd like to share with you today is about a mother's joy. A mother's joy. You know, some moms sometimes look around and they say, is it ever worth it? Is it even worth it? I work so hard. I try so hard. I'm frail at the ends and I'm just stressed out. Let me tell you something. It's worth it. There is going to come a day, if you keep doing what you're doing, there's going to come a day when you look at your children and you're going to be thankful to God that they turned out. And you're going to be so joyful. You're going to be able to look at them and say, all of that hard work that I did, it finally paid off. Thank God in heaven it didn't pay off. And I didn't kill them. It was a great thanks be to God that they made it. And I made it. And it's going to work out. My brother and I, both of us, high school dropouts, I'm sure my mom said, that's probably not the best choice. But you know what? We made those decisions and we moved on. But since then, my brother and I both have advanced degrees. We got our lives straightened out. We're on the straight and narrow. We're trying to do the best that we can. And at the end of the day, when my mom passed away nearly 3 years ago, she was able to look at my brother and I and say, them boys turned out. They turned out well. And so at the end of the day, moms, there's going to be a joy. There's going to be a joy that you've done the right thing. There's going to be a joy when you look at your children, when they're fully raised and you look at how they come out, you're going to say, it was worth it. It was worth it. It worked out in the end. And I'm here to tell you that if you'll just hold on, it will work out. We have God's assurances. It will work out. Right now it may not feel like it, but I'm here to tell you, it will work out. You'll be full of joy because of how these things worked out. Well, hey, look here. Let me go over these one more time with you in your hearing today. A mother's love, a mother's faith, a mother's instruction, a mother's virtue, a mother's sacrifice, and a mother's joy. Happy Mother's Day. You moms out there, you deserve it. We finally got the shelter at home thing lifted. Go see your mama today. Go love on her. Cook her dinner. Do something nice for her. Repay her for all the times that she wanted to pull your hair out and didn't. Love on your mamas today. Appreciate them today. Let them know how much you love them and are grateful for them. That God gave you that mother today. All you young moms in there, hang in there. Pastor John's thinking about you today too. And so, God bless you for that. Once again, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Bless you in the Lord. Hey, listen, if you hadn't reached out to us, please do so. Go back to the beginning of this video. Check out Claire. She's there at the beginning. There's a telephone number. We'd love to be able to hear from you. Love to be able to reach out to you. If we haven't had an opportunity and the honor to connect with you, we'd love that opportunity. Hey, stick around because today at 5:30, the kids will be ministered to. They have their own private Facebook page that's secured for security concerns. But they're going to have a great time of the day, great time of the Lord today too. So we look forward to seeing the kids at 5:30 and all the kids at 5:30 tuned in there. But in the meantime, hey, thanks for allowing us to come back into your home this week. We love you in the Lord. You take care. Happy Mother's Day.